Welcome to qnawire.
To determine if an experiment can be described by a binomial distribution, it must satisfy these four criteria. 1, each observation falls into just one of two categories, which we call success or failure. There is a fixed number of observations that we call n. The observations are independent. Knowing the result of one does not affect the result of the next. And the probability of success, which we call p, is the same for each observation. In our first example, we are testing one brand of aspirin by 10 people to determine if it is effective. First, you do have just two categories. Either it is effective or the failure would be ineffective. There is a fixed number of observation, which is 10, because you are surveying 10 people. Each observation is independent because the first person does not affect the second person's opinion of the aspirin. And the probability of success is the same for each. It's either effective or it's not. The next example says asking 100 people if they smoke. For this one, you can fall into two categories. You either smoke or you don't. There is a fixed number of observations because we're asking 100 people. Each observation is independent, and the probability of success is the same for each observation because you either smoke or you don't. For the next example, it's checking 1,000 applicants and see if they get into college. So for this one, you either fall into two categories. You either got into White Oak College or you didn't. So it satisfies the first criteria. There is a fixed number of observations because you're looking at 1,000 applicants. Each application is independent of the next, and the probability of success is the same for each observation. So we would say that this is a binomial experiment. The next example says you're going to survey 300 prisoners to see how many different crimes they committed. Well, you fall into more than one category here. There's not just one crime, two crimes, three crimes. There can be many crimes. So it does not meet that first criteria. So therefore, this cannot be described as a binomial experiment. And the last example says surveying 300 people and seeing if they are in prison and if it is their first offense. So you fall into two categories here. It's either their first offense or it's not their first offense. There are a fixed number of observations because we are surveying 300 prisoners. The observations are independent because the first prisoner does not affect the second prisoner's answer for this one, and the probability of success is the same for each observation. Therefore, we can describe this distribution as binomial.